What's up, humanity? Spacebug coming at you today to talk about a couple things. You may or may not have heard that Biden has released a statement saying that he's requiring the Labor Board of the United States of America to require COVID vaccinations or weekly testing for any business that had more than 100 employees. What does that mean? Pretty much any business that's not a small mom and pop business that was totally decimated during COVID will be required to either have their employees vaccinated or pay for testing once a week for every employee that they have. Now, I imagine if you have more than 100 employees, that's going to be kind of pricey. What this is doing is putting the American citizens in a place where our choice is either do not work and starve and die or comply with vaccination laws on our bodies. When Texas outlawed abortion, I thought that was pretty fucking crazy. And now it looks like as an American citizen we have no right to our bodies at all. You're telling us to either comply with a vaccination that is very, you know what, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I think about the vaccination. You're telling us we either comply with what you want to put in our bodies and what you think we should do with our bodies, or starve to death. That's what's happening here. That is not my primary message, other than fuck the government. For real, y'all, fuck the government. Y'all are making some bad choices up there, government. There's a couple of good people in the government. Let's not consider this a time to focus on revolt. Let's consider this a time to be aware. Now, another thing I want to say is this. Bottom line is, people in control, people in power, none of them have your best interests at heart. And you can say, well, let's take down the government. No, because then whoever takes their place is going to have the same mentality of, I control you. You're going to do what I want. You're going to serve my purposes. Fuck all that. What we need to do is come together as people, as citizens, as humans, and stop letting them control us. I don't know how yet, but I don't think that straight up revolt is necessarily the answer. I think that becoming a stronger community with the people around you and supporting each other and backing up each other's choices, even if they're different than ours, is the best way to handle this. They're trying to play us against each other. This is going to lead to civil war. There is no reason why they have a right to tell us what we can do with our physical bodies. And as far as being on the opposite side of the argument, I understand vaccines have been, at some point in the history of every vaccine, there's been an experimental phase. During that experimental phase, like traditionally, and according to a law I can't cite the name of right now, there's like 7 systems for these testing situations. Voluntary testing is one of the main components of that. Voluntary. They're taking away our ability to choose. Either you get vaccinated or you don't eat, is now what they're telling us. My take on the vaccine is, I'm 36 years old. I'm a healthy human being. I have no medical conditions. I haven't been the most careful. I'm not social, so I don't go very many places, but I work in a restaurant. I'm a busser in a restaurant. My job is literally to take care of dirty dishes. Dishes that have been in people's mouths, cups that they've drank off of, linens that they've wiped their face with. My job is probably one of the most dangerous in America right now for COVID contraction. I have not been sick. I've been tested at least 3 times. I mean, if I haven't caught it and I'm not vaccinated and I don't wear a mask at work now that the mask mandate's gone, then why should I have to be vaccinated? If you are afraid of the COVID disease, if you're afraid of the virus, then you get vaccinated, and that should make you safe. It shouldn't matter about what I choose to do because you've already chosen to be vaccinated. My choice is mine and your choice is yours, and that's the way that this needs to remain. We shouldn't be bullying anybody. I'm not bullying anybody who got the vaccine like, oh, you're gonna turn into a robot or something. No, that's ridiculous, but it's also not my place. I can't discriminate against your choices, and you can't discriminate against mine. If you're vaccinated, then me not being vaccinated should not directly affect you. You're vaccinated. If the vaccine works, you're safe. Not to mention, that the viral load people who have been vaccinated who contract COVID, because you can still contract it, carry is significantly higher, like hundreds of times higher than people who don't have a vaccination who contract COVID. So ultimately, we don't have enough data to say you have to be vaccinated, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion. But I can say for a fact, I haven't gotten COVID. I've been tested. I have like the dirtiest, nastiest job on the planet. I think that my physical health is a reflection of the fact that I haven't gotten COVID. I've probably been exposed to it. I'm not at risk. I'm a healthy human being. I'm a healthy adult. If you're at risk, that's a choice you can make. I know people who I support having gotten the vaccine. I have a friend with a heart problem, and I definitely think that she was probably smarter to go the route of making sure she doesn't get this virus. I can fight it off and create my own antibodies. You know, that's what your immune system does. If I'm exposed to it in a degree that would allow me to be infected. That's the end of my rant. The whole message here is the only choice we have, really, is to treat each other with respect. Or maybe that's the only choice we shouldn't have. That should be the one mandate. Treat each other with respect. Build community around you with the human beings who have, living, breathing tissue just like you. Try to connect with them and accept each other's choices and support each other, because we are all one human entity. And the sooner that we realize that there's no difference between us, even with our choices that we make, the sooner we can maybe get rid of this whole perpetual fear state of control that the government has had us live in for as long as it's been in action. I love you, universe. I love you, humanity. We're going to get through this. Do not turn on each other. It's the only way we're going to make it.